I'm very honored to be receiving the Faculty Excellence Award in Community Service. I have been really focused on community work over the last few years at Rush, but really throughout my whole career. And so I feel very lucky to be at Rush, which is a place that values health equity and values community work. I really appreciate that Rush is an institution that highly values community service and community work. And does things like give awards in this category, and also does things like have health equity be a major part of our mission and strategy. My community work encompasses a number of different areas. Some of it started off as volunteer work, for example, our pandemic response, and then I was able to work with others at Rush to grow it into funded professional activities. Volunteers are really important, but it needs to be sustainable. So I've been really proud to develop partnerships with the Chicago Department of Public Health, with philanthropy, with foundations, to be able to support work. Things like community vaccination, where we go out into community settings to vaccinate, places like schools, shelters, community organizations. It includes Rush at Home, which is our home-based primary care program, where we provide primary care in people's homes on the west side of Chicago for people who have trouble leaving their homes. Our COVID vaccination and testing teams are now even expanding into other community-based work.
I was honored to be nominated and win the Excellence in Mentoring Award. It's wonderful because obviously I don't do any of this for an award, but it's nice to be noticed. It's nice for the students. I think for me, my main reason that I got involved with mentoring was kind of accidental. There were students that were interested in emergency medicine and would ask to shadow me, and so I would let them come on shifts with me. But then also recognizing just how few faculty of color there are, just in general, not necessarily just at Rush. Really feeling the need to mentor the underrepresented minority students. So that became a focus of mine since I started here. My favorite part of my job is working with the students, which I don't know if I necessarily knew coming into this. I knew I would be teaching them in some capacity with them rotating through the emergency room, but getting to know them outside of the classroom, learning about them as people. I'm on the admissions committee, so a lot of them I knew their stories coming in, but then hearing how they're going through life, hearing how they're going through medical school, the challenges that they have, working through that with them, providing resources when I can, and uplifting story when they need that. That's just been super rewarding.
I'm faculty in the Health Systems Management Department, which is in the College of Health Sciences, and I'm being recognized for excellence in education. I'm deeply honored and humbled to be receiving this award. I'm grateful to the people who nominated me, and to think of myself as among the peers here at Rush really means a lot to me. I started first as an educator, as an undergraduate. I taught some peer courses, and throughout graduate school and most of my profession, even if I wasn't an educator, I was teaching on the side. And most of my teaching relates to organizational behavior and leadership, and considering the ways that healthcare professionals can be empowered to make a bigger difference in their communities and in their broader surroundings. What drove me to pursue this path as an educator was a recognition that I could meaningfully impact people's lives in ways that would be relatively enduring and make a bigger difference in the world than the clinical work that I was doing previously.
I am being recognized for the Excellence in Community Service Award. I am incredibly honored, very humbled to be singled out as a person for this award, because excellence in community service can't happen with just one person. I've been an occupational therapist for over 35 years, working clinically with people with physical disabilities primarily. I was singled out, I think, for the work that I've been doing with people experiencing homelessness. And that started really with a group of occupational therapists coming together, and we recognized that occupational therapy could provide a service to the homeless community that was not being provided. I have good connections with individuals that are occupational therapists within the city that had the place where we could potentially start a student-run clinic. And I worked for about 2 years getting this clinic going, and we have occupational therapy services being offered at the clinic every month, and different healthcare and occupational therapy services are provided at the clinic. There are so many people that are involved with the work that I do. I feel that I'm really representing the whole team.
I was so pleased and honored to be the recipient of the Excellence in Research Award. Since I came to Rush after my neurology training, I was immediately exposed to so many different areas in cognitive aging, research, and clinical care. So when I came, I made sure that I linked the clinical care to the research, and by doing so, I was studying how people age over time and how is their brain health affected. I was always curious to know, why do some people age very, very well and have no signs of cognitive decline in Alzheimer's and others do? And then that led to my research over the years that looked at sex and gender differences, the impact of race, ethnicity on cognitive health, and then also medical conditions such as cardiovascular disease and stroke. So, you've heard of the bench to bedside approach to medicine. Sometimes I think about, for me, it was always the backyard, which was the community, to bedside approach to medicine. And I was very fortunate to be able to do that by being involved in so many different things, from the community level with our studies, to the clinic where we do clinical trials, and now to prevent Alzheimer's disease.
Receiving this award is, it might be just recognizing me, but there must be an understanding that I'm propped up by many superb people that help me care for these patients. It's definitely a team effort, and I'm grateful for their expertise and for their commitment. Patients with tongue cancer, cancer of the larynx, parotid tumors, thyroid cancer, patients who have complications of other treatments like wound issues after chemotherapy and radiation. I might do the operation, I might be responsible for the overall management and the care and the post-op and the complications, but there are many talented, dedicated people that care as deeply for the patients that I do that make it all happen.
I think what makes Rush faculty excellent is their dedication to the multiple missions of the organization.
We have a commitment to not only our patients, but also the students.
We understand that you mean something to your family, you mean something to us, and I think that makes a difference.
I have the most amazing colleagues. I'm always learning from them.
My passion is a passion that I see in every other faculty person around me.
So when you have that passion and that interest, that just brings a creative environment to work in. And when you get creativity, you get innovative ideas,